Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another installment of BrickWall Reviews. I'm Dave, and yeah, it's good to be back, man. I've been out for a while. I haven't really been feeling that great. I've had a lot of personal things going on and whatnot, and it's just been, a little rough. But that all aside, I'm back here, and I thank you all for staying with the channel. I thank you all for supporting me. I thank you all just for everything that you guys have done just on the back end. Just all the encouragement I received lately. So I'm back. I'm gonna try to be back more consistently. Yeah, so I'm gonna get into it. And right now I'm excited to talk about this movie. This is a movie that I've been wanting to see. It has one of my favorite comedic actors in there. And the plot and the premise just seem really, really interesting. I'm talking about a movie called Friendship. That's right, because we could all be friends. Friendship. Before I get into it, though, I want to remind you guys, go ahead, hit that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Follow us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. Over on Twitch is where we do the gaming. On Instagram, I do mini reviews, which I'll tell you guys another one. So I got, like I said, now last review I did on Instagram, I said that I had a lot of things in the tank that I wanted to get to. But this is one of the ones that I definitely wanted to pop off with. I do still have those in the tank, and I am gonna get those to you. I do want to apologize in advance. My output is a little slower than usual. Like I said, I'll just have life happening, and I'm getting back on track. I'm getting back on the ball, so just bear with me a bit. But all that said, let's get into it. So, Friendship is a movie starring Tim Robinson and Paul Rudd, as well as Kate Mara. Excuse me. Those are the three main stars in the movie. Jack Dylan Grazer. I don't know, the one that played the handicapped brother in Shazam. All right, I forgot. I think his name was Jack Dylan Grazer. I don't know. Y'all know I still don't have my laptop up and running yet. Okay. But anyway, yeah. So Friendship is a movie about Tim Robinson's character, whose name is Craig. Craig is kind of, I'm not gonna say he's like an introvert and not like that, but him and his wife, played by Kate Mara, they are Kate just had something kind of happen to her. I won't really spoil. Well, yeah, I won't really spoil what that is because that is somewhat of revealed during the movie. And Craig kind of spends his time inside, doesn't really like do anything, outside of the house. Meanwhile, Kate, she's like going out and seeing hanging out with a very specific friend that, again, I won't spoil it for you, but when you see him, like, wait, what? Excuse me? But yeah, she's going to hang in with a specific person, and meanwhile, Craig's just inside chilling. So a new neighbor moves in, and the neighbor wants to kind of be friends with Craig, and the wife kind of encourages it. And so this kind of follows Craig as he is not only just building this friendship, but also kind of dealing with the downside of the friendship when he loses the friendship because of an incident that happens. And the neighbor, who's played by Paul Rudd, I forgot to mention that part, whose name is now escaping me. It started with an A, but his name is escaping me right now. He goes Paul Rudd's character, who's the neighbor, like I said, pretty much ends the friendship due to an incident that occurred. And so the movie goes from Craig wanting to have a friend and kind of like adapting to the friendship and stuff like that, and finding a friend and having such a good time, having a quality of his life improve because of this friendship, to now all of a sudden trying to pretty much get over this breakup, so to speak, and just his erratic behaviors and everything like that. So this movie really takes a very crazy dark turn. I will say this. So going into this movie, I knew that it was going to be a niche movie for me because I enjoy Tim Robinson's brand of humor. If you don't know who Tim Robinson is, I encourage you to watch the show. I think you should leave. That's on Netflix. It's a sketch comedy show. It stars Tim Robinson, and that is the best way. That's how I got introduced to Tim Robinson. And I believe that that's the best way to get introduced to him, his brand of humor. And yeah, I think that's the best way to get introduced to him. He's also in a show called Detroiters. But if I had to describe Tim Robinson's brand of humor in any way, I would say that he is just chaotic. He is, and without the shadow of a doubt in my mind, he is the best person at playing a certified crash out that I've ever seen, and it's bar none. And comedically, I mean, comedically. Um, yeah, and I absolutely had a blast. This movie, it's like I said, it's a niche movie, kind of, in my opinion. Um, it's a dark comedy, definitely that, but it is actually very, very, very funny if you kind of understand the brand of humor that you're in for. The first line in the movie, the first line from Craig in the movie, from Tim Robinson's character in the movie, had me in stitches. And there are so many different moments in this movie that just had me cracking up. I was in the theater by myself because I knew I was going to be by myself because, like I said, in each movie. But man, this dude had me cracking the hell up. I was laughing so hard. There was just so many great jokes, so many moments, because his part of his humor, right, is that like he'll just like yell. And it's not like yelling like you old Pharaoh yelling, but it's just like let's say, like for example, there's a scene where he drops his phone. This is my favorite one to refer to as well. He dropped his phone. He's like, "Oh no! God damn it! Damn it! Nah, shit! Fuck! Help me find my phone! Fuck!" But it's not just that makes it funny. It's the way that he does it. It's even parts like where he goes crazy a bit, and he's like, it's just I'm sorry, and it's just he's very very like it's just something you got to see. Like I said, if you're not familiar with who Tim Robinson is, I definitely encourage you to watch the show. I think you should leave. It's on Netflix. I watched it back when I had Netflix. One of my favorite shows, one of my favorite sketch comedy shows. And if you can't find, if you don't find his brand of humor appealing, then try watching Detroiters, right? That's him a little bit more tamed, following a script, more of a script written by the people and having, what I'm saying? That's more of a step back from I Think You Should Leave. And if you still can't get into his brand of humor, then maybe Friendship is not for you. But if you can find any enjoyment from him in Detroiters or mainly I Think You Should Leave, then not Detroiters, wow. Then Friendship can be up your alley. This movie, like I said, it is very, very funny. And it's also very, very interesting from standpoint of, he just wanted a friend. And although the friendship ended because of something that he did, it's also just like a really interesting character study on, trying to cope with social relationships and the effect that some social relationships can have on your personal life. But that aside, it's also a study of how one man is so he's referred to as narcissistic at one point in the movie. And I had to fully agree because, like, as soon as he said that, I thought back on all the events in the movie. I said, "Oh my God, he really has been somewhat of a narcissist." There's a point in the movie where he loses his wife. She doesn't die. Like, he literally loses her. Like, he took her to do something that he did early in the film. Again, I won't spoil it because it's better that you don't know what it was exactly. Because when you see him, like, "Oh, are you freaking serious?" Like, and you not even realize that that's what he did until he does it. But yeah. So, like, he loses his wife, and when she's found, and this is again one of the funnier bits of the movie. Like, when she's found, he doesn't like immediately like apologize or anything like that, but like he kind of finds a way to make it all about him. That's not the part I found funny though. Although there's funny acting in that, that's not the part I found funny. The part I found funny was just random person that was at the party, and at first you think he's coming down there to make like friends with him and stuff like that, but he starts cussing this dude out, and when he was doing that, bro. And first of all, it's an actor that I'm familiar with. Like, I know his face, and he's kind of good for doing that type of role where he just like randomly pops up and starts like fussing and stuff like that. I don't know his name, but I never knew his name, but I know him when I see him. And as soon as I saw him, I was like, "Oh my God, it's about to go one or two ways." and I'll be damned if it went the way I thought it was going to go. And I was sitting in there cracking up. There's just so many things about this movie that made me laugh, but it's the chaos wrapped inside the sincerity of it all, because this movie still has it's a very sincere point. Like, there are moments in this movie that are very sweet, especially around the ending. There's one big moment that's a very sweet moment that happens amidst a lot of chaos. And it's just like, wow, this movie still finds a way to be a very sweet movie. Just also just a very disturbing and very cringe movie. Like, because as you're watching Craig and his actions and the things that he's doing and hearing the things that he's saying after this friendship ends, you're like, yo, what the hell is wrong with you? You're like, oh my, like, you kind of let think like, yo, what the hell is wrong with you? Oh my God. Yo, oh my God, no. What? Like, it's just, it's really, really crazy. It's really, really interesting. And I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I thought it was the best experience in the theater I've had with a comedy movie in quite some, since one of them days, right? And so I did. This is the second time I've seen a really good comedy in theaters, and I'm really enjoying seeing comedies again. I know we've been getting a lot of superhero movies, a lot of, like, action flicks, horror flicks, dramas, biopics rather. But one thing that we've kind of started lacking on theatrically is comedies. And it doesn't always have to be like this grand scale, big comedy thing. There's different types of comedy. And this is one of the ones, like, even seeing the reviews, this has like a, excuse me, this has like a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. I know it was screened at a film festival where it got a lot of acclaim. People are really saying it's a really funny movie, and it's surprising that people have found this movie as funny as they have, because I found this movie hilarious, and there are other people who found this movie hilarious. And it's weird because when I'm going to go see this movie, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to drag anybody with me because people aren't going to understand it, and I don't know exactly the ride that I'm in for myself. Like, I just know that I'm into Tim Robinson's humor. I'm into Paul Rudd. I think he's great. And excuse me, oh my goodness, I got hiccups. But I'm into Paul Rudd's humor. I'm into Tim Robinson's humor. And I just thought this it's from A24, so I like their movies. So I'm like, okay, this might be just something that I really just find enjoyable, and I want to be able to feel, to feel free laughing at this without really trying to have to explain the in jokes or something like that, should there be any. But as soon as I saw this movie, what was it? REP here, B. She was like, oh yeah, no, I do remember seeing the trailer for that. I did want to see that. I was like, oh, well, great. I didn't know you would have wanted to see it. Even explained it to my dad. He's like, wow, that really does sound interesting. So it's really nice to, like, this movie could have the type of audience that I could play this movie around people, and they may just really get this movie. They may really laugh at this movie. They may laugh harder than I did. I'm sitting there like, damn, I really wish I had somebody here with me. They would have really enjoyed this. But again, it's just not knowing if a particular brand of humor is for everybody, and that's okay if it's not. Plus, I just, solo movie day. I don't do that very much at all, really. But yeah, this was great. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I definitely thought it was worth every penny. It was hilarious. I have not had that much fun watching a comedy movie in theaters, in quite some time. I would say since one of them days. Although I say one of them days is a different type of humor. That's more like a broader sense, more of a mainstream sense of humor. This one was like, I don't know. It felt like, again, because I'm such a fan of Tim Robinson, it just felt like I was like, I don't know, it felt like a moment, and I enjoyed it. So if you do want to check this out, it's released May 9th on a limited release and then May 23rd on a wide release. So there are way more shows than there were a couple weeks ago, which is again why I didn't see it a couple weeks ago, because it was just so few showings, and I was like, I can't make that one. I can't make that one, or and even I tried to go on like the $6 Tuesday, the discounted Tuesdays that they do at Regal. I was like, I can't make it. It's just something. But this time I was like, what, I gotta make it. I want to see this. I really want to see this. You know what I'm saying? I just, and just based off of everything I've been dealing with lately, I was like, I gotta do this one. I just gotta do this one. I gotta take myself. See this one. This isn't like the Lilo and Stitch or oh man, they had this really great running joke in the movie about like they was like, oh, I was gonna see this new Marvel. You guys see the new Marvel? Oh, I heard the new Marvel was crazy, and that and that's what they really say. They say the new Marvel. They don't say which one, but it's just really interesting how they did that. It was really funny. But yeah, no, this isn't like the Mission Impossible. This isn't like the big mainstream movies. It's like a smaller film, and I do like to support smaller films as well. Cinema's more than just blockbusters. Sometimes there's movies that come out that fly under the radar, but are really, really good. And again, for the umpteenth time, this is one of them. So I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I already mentioned the critical acclaim it's gotten on Rotten Tomatoes and all that. My rating for this movie, it is I'll give it a 4.9 out of 5 stars. The only thing that brings it down is it is a little long. It's 2 hours and no, not 2 hours. My bad. It's 1 hour and 45 minutes long. And although that doesn't sound too long, close to 2 hours, it does at a certain point, it kind of does feel like it's kind of just going. And not like in a bad way, so to speak, but it's just like, okay, like there was a point where they could have ended it, and it would have been a really nice ending. But the point that they decided to continue and decided to end at a different point, which is also a really nice ending. So there's just, I don't know how you could trim anything from the movie, because everything in the movie was really good and was really funny. And it just felt a little long. Plus I had some other stuff to do that night. Not to say that was a distraction or anything, but no, I will say that the length was a little long. It was just a tiny bit long, just a tiny bit long. And that's what kind of brings it in for me. And I mean, that's really it though. Like everything, like it was good on the drama, it was good on the comedy, it was good on the story. Yeah, so other than that, like that's it. Like my only nitpick is it was just a tad bit long. But again, given everything that transpired in the movie and how things took place, it did make good use of its runtime. So I will say that much. But yeah, I mean that's really all I have to say right now. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So Friendship. If you get the chance, make sure you check it out in theaters and have fun watching a movie that is a little different from what you usually would watch. Okay, but that's all I have for you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Yeah, I really appreciate all the support and the love and all that stuff, man. Make sure y'all take care of yourselves, prioritize yourselves. Just spread love, spread peace, spread joy. And until next time, y'all, be easy, stay breezy. Peace.